The audience was primed for the usual late-night ritual. John Behar, king of the 11:30 slot, and Keanu Reeves, Hollywood's eternal wanderer, had traded a quiet nod backstage. The show was slated to kick off at 11:07 sharp. No one in the studio, cameraman, floor crew, or the packed house could have guessed this interview would end as the biggest scandal of 2025. But first, everything looked perfect. If you're watching this at 2 a.m., drop the time in the comments and hit subscribe, because it's about to ignite. The studio lights are soft but carry a chill. The camera glides over the crowd, laughter, applause, anticipation. John steps out first, graphite suit, smile calibrated to the millimeter. He settles behind the desk, palms flat, claiming the space. Good evening, America. Tonight, a guest who needs no introduction. But I'll do it anyway. Keanu Reeves. Thunderous applause. Keanu enters slow, deliberate. Black shirt, dark jeans, hair slightly tousled. He sits opposite, nods to the room. His voice is low, the studio quiets to a hush. Hey, John. John leans in, microphone glinting under the spots. Keanu, you just wrapped John Wick, Chapter 5. Critics are calling it your best. Fans are losing their minds. Be honest, do you still get a rush from this? Or is it routine? Keanu studies the table. Fingers brush the water glass. Rush? Yeah. But routine creeps in when you forget why you started. John's smile is warm, but his eyes stay cool. Why did you start? Money? Fame? Or something deeper? Pause. Keanu lifts his gaze. Freedom. The crowd chuckles softly. John nods, as if in agreement. Freedom in Hollywood. That sounds ironic. Keanu shrugs. Irony's part of the game. Camera pushes in. John lifts his coffee, takes a sip. Let's talk about the game. You always play the good guy. Quiet. Humble. But off-screen, rumors. You dodge press. Rare interviews. Why? Afraid people will see the real you? Keanu doesn't blink. What real you? John sets the mug down. The clink echoes. That you're not the guy on the poster. That humility's a mask. The room stills. Keanu's smile is barely there. A mask? Maybe. But whose? John edges closer. Yours. You control the image. Every word. Every look. But tonight, cameras are rolling. You're in my house. Keanu meets his stare. Control's an illusion, John. You should know. John's eyebrow twitches, micro movement, caught in 4K. Illusion? You've built a fortress around your life. No red carpets unless it's contractually required. No paparazzi shots for years. That's not illusion. That's strategy. Keanu's fingers tighten on the glass. Condensation beads. Strategy keeps the noise out. Or keeps the truth in. Laughter from the audience, nervous now. Keanu exhales through his nose. Truth's overrated in this room. John tilts his head. Careful. That almost sounded cynical. The internet's gonna clip that. Keanu's mouth curves, not quite a smile. Let them. John shifts gears, voice lighter but sharper. Speaking of the internet, you went viral last month. That clip, motorcycle, rain, you helping a stranded driver. No cameras. Someone's phone. Pure hero moment. Planned? Keanu's eyes flick to the lens, then back. Planned? No. Just human. Human. Right. But let's be real, every human moment you allow gets weaponized. Charity rides. Sad Keanu memes. The beard phase. You curate it all. Keanu leans back, arms crossing. Curation's survival. John's smile thins. Survival from what? Success? You're worth north of 300 million. Private jets. Compounds. Yet you ride the subway. Eat at diners. Why the everyman act? The word act lands like a pin dropping. Keanu's jaw sets. It's not an act. Isn't it? You vanish for years, then resurface as Neo, Wick, whoever. The quiet sage. The grieving widower. The monk. Pick one. Keanu's voice drops, almost a whisper. You think I pick? John seizes it. Don't you? Point Break surfer. Matrix messiah. Wick a widower with a body count. Every role's a mirror. But which one's you? Silence stretches. The control room feed shows heart rate graphics spiking in the booth. Keanu uncrosses his arms, leans forward. Elbows on knees. None of them. All of them. Does it matter? John's eyes narrow. It matters when the myth replaces the man. Fans worship a ghost. Keanu's laugh is soft, bitter. Better a ghost than a product. John pauses, beat too long. The audience senses blood. Product. Strong word. You saying the industry owns you? Keanu's gaze hardens. I'm saying it tries. Every day. John swivels to the crowd, playing them. He says tries. But Keanu, you're the highest paid action star alive. You renegotiated Wick 5 for 20 million plus backend. That's not ownership? Keanu doesn't flinch. That's negotiation. Not surrender. John turns back, voice silk over steel. Negotiation. Cute. Let's talk surrender. 1994, Speed. You turned down the sequel. Walked away from 11 million. Studio called you difficult. Your agent begged. You ghosted for a year. Hamlet in Canada. Why? Keanu's fingers stop moving. Needed air. Air? Or ego? You tanked a franchise because you didn't like the script. The room gasps, soft, collective. Keanu's eyes flick to the exit sign, then return. Script was garbage. John pounces. Garbage? It made 350 million without you. Jan de Bont called you ungrateful. Said you thought you were bigger than the machine. Keanu's voice is ice. He was wrong. John leans in, whisper close. Was he? You've been proving him right for 30 years. Vanish. Resurface. Collect checks. Repeat. The machine doesn't break you, it feeds you. Keanu's hand slides from the glass. Water rings the table. You think I'm here for the machine? John's smile is gone. Why are you here, Keanu? First late night in a decade. My producers begged your people for months. What changed? Keanu looks past him, to the camera. Lens flare catches his iris. Someone said you ask real questions. John blinks. First crack in the armor. Real questions. Okay. Here's one. Your sister, Kim. Leukemia. You funded her treatment anonymously. Sold your house. Lived in hotels. Why hide it? Keanu's throat works. No answer. John's softer, lethal. Because goodness without credit isn't goodness. It's branding. The studio lights feel colder. Keanu's voice is barely audible. You don't know what goodness is. John's eyes gleam. Enlighten me. Keanu stands, slow, deliberate. Chair scrapes like a gunshot. The room inhales. He doesn't speak. Just looks at John. Then the camera. Then the exit. John's voice cuts the silence. Walking out already? We're just getting started. Keanu pauses at the edge of the light pool. Back to the audience. Some games aren't worth playing. He steps into shadow. The spotlight follows, then falters. John turns to the lens, smile rebuilt but brittle. Well, folks, that's Keanu Reeves. Unfiltered. Cut to commercial. The feed lingers on the empty chair. Water glass still sweating. In the booth, a producer whispers, "Keep rolling." The silence is louder than any scream. The commercial break ends too soon. The studio lights snap back, harsher now, as if someone dialed the color temperature down 10 degrees. The applause is polite, mechanical. John Behar sits alone behind the desk, fingers drumming once, twice. The empty chair opposite him is still warm. A stagehand darts in, wipes the water ring with a cloth, vanishes. John leans into the microphone, voice velvet over gravel. We're back. And, apparently, Keanu needed a moment. Happens to the best of us. A nervous ripple from the crowd. Phones rise like periscopes. The Jumbotron replays the walkout in slow motion, Keanu's silhouette swallowed by darkness, the spotlight chasing a ghost. The side door hisses. Footsteps, deliberate. Keanu re-enters, slower than before. Black shirt untucked now, one sleeve rolled. He doesn't sit. Stands at the edge of the circle of light. John's eyebrow arches. Change your mind? Keanu's voice is flat, almost conversational. No. Just remembered the exit's locked from the outside. Laughter, thin. John gestures to the chair. Sit. We're live. Millions watching. Let's not waste it. Keanu sits. The chair creaks, louder than it should. Camera 3 zooms until his pores are constellations. John folds his hands. You said some games aren't worth playing. This one? Keanu's eyes flick to the lens, then John. Depends who's keeping score. John smiles without warmth. The audience. Always. Keanu exhales, slow. Then asks something that matters. John doesn't hesitate. Fine. 2001, you're 37. The Matrix Reloaded is printing money. You give away 20 million of your back end to the effects team. Stunt crew. Even the caterers. Studio execs call it noble. Your manager calls it suicide. Why? Keanu's fingers lace, knuckles white. They built the world. I just walked through it. John's head tilts. Bullshit. You were the face. The brand. You could have kept it. Bought islands. Instead, you play Robin Hood. That's not generosity. That's guilt. Keanu's laugh is a rasp. Guilt for what? For surviving. Your best friend, River Phoenix. Dead at 23. You were there the week before. You ride motorcycles like you're daring the road to finish the job. Charity's your penance. The studio temperature drops another degree. Keanu's voice is stone. You weren't there. John leans in, scalpel sharp. I've read the transcripts. The Viper Room. The calls you never took. The funeral you skipped. Keanu's eyes close for one beat. When they open, they're glass. You want the transcript? Here's one you missed. I paid for his sister's rehab. 3 times. No press release. No tax write-off. Just a check and a plane ticket. John blinks, caught off guard. The control room feed spikes red. Touching. But let's stay on you. 2019, John Wick 3. You're 55. Stunt double breaks his spine on your watch. You visit him in the hospital. Pay the bills. Again, no cameras. Why hide the good if it's real? Keanu's voice cracks, just once. Because the good dies when it's sold. John's smile is a blade. Or when it's convenient. Let's talk convenience. Your sad Keanu meme. 2010, you're on a bench, eating a sandwich, looking broken. The internet crowns you lonely king. Merchandise explodes. T-shirts. Mugs. A Netflix doc. You never sued. Never spoke. Why let them profit off your pain? Keanu's hands unclasp. Palms open, empty. Because the pain was real. The profit wasn't mine to stop. John's eyes narrow. Real. Like your grief for Jennifer Syme? Car crash. 2001, unborn child. You vanish for a year. No statements. Then Constantine. Back in demon makeup. Grief on a schedule? The room is a tomb. Keanu's voice is barely air. Some things don't fit in a press junket. John's chair rolls forward an inch. But they fit here? Tonight? You walked out. Came back. Why? Keanu looks at the water glass, still sweating. Because running looks like surrender. John's voice drops to a whisper the mic barely catches. And staying? Keanu meets his eyes. Looks like war. Silence. The kind that rings in the ears. Camera 1 holds on Keanu's face, a map of fault lines. Camera 2 on John, predator still, but the prey has teeth. John breaks first. War. Okay. Let's fight. You call Hollywood a machine. But you're its crown jewel. Wick 5, you demanded final cut. Creative control. A say in marketing. That's not fighting the machine. That's running it. Keanu's head shakes, slow. Controls the leash they let you hold. So you don't notice the collar. John's laugh is sharp. Poetic. But collars come with paychecks. Yours cashed last week. 25 million. Plus a percentage of toy guns. You're monetizing violence while preaching peace. Hypocrisy much? Keanu's voice is calm, lethal. The guns aren't real. The peace is. John's fingers drum the desk. Peace. Like your foundation? Millions to children's hospitals. No name on the building. Why? Afraid the IRS will notice? Or afraid the kids will? Keanu's eyes glint, wet. Afraid they'll think it's enough. John pauses. The trap springs. Enough for what? Keanu's whisper carries to the back row. To balance the ledger. The studio lights flicker, just once. A power surge or a sign. John leans back, arms wide. Ledger. God. Karma. You believe in that? After all the blood on screen? All the roles where you're judge, jury, executioner? Keanu's smile is ancient. I believe in consequences. John's voice hardens. Then face 1. Right now. Live. Tell America one truth you've never sold. One thing the myth doesn't cover. Keanu looks at the camera. Not past it. Into it. I'm tired. The word lands like a body. John waits. The silence stretches until it frays. Tired of what? Keanu's voice is raw, stripped. Of pretending the mask still fits. John's eyes widen, fractionally. The control room feed flatlines. Keanu stands again. This time, no scrape of the chair. Just presence. You wanted real. Here it is. I don't know who I am when the credits roll. I ride bikes too fast because the wind's the only thing that doesn't ask questions. I give money because it's easier than giving time. I do interviews like this because silence feels like drowning. He steps closer to John. The desk between them feels suddenly small. You think you're the scalpel? You're just another mirror. And I'm done looking. John's mouth opens, no sound. Keanu turns to the audience. His voice is soft, almost kind. Go home. Hug someone. Turn off the screens. The show's over. He walks. Not to the exit. To the front row. A teenage girl in a Matrix hoodie is crying. He crouches, whispers something. She nods, fierce. The cameras follow, helpless. John stands, but the spotlight ignores him. Keanu reaches the edge of the stage. Pauses. Looks back at the empty chair, the sweating glass, the man still holding the mic like a lifeline. John. John freezes. Keanu's smile is small, sad, true. Thanks for the war. He drops off the stage into the crowd. Hands reach, but don't grab. They part. A path forms. He disappears through the side door. This time, it stays open. The feed holds on John. Alone. The applause track doesn't play. The laughter doesn't come. John looks at the camera. His voice is hoarse. We'll be right back. The screen cuts to black. No logo. No bumper. Just the sound of a glass tipping over, water spreading across the desk like blood. In the booth, the director whispers, "We're offline." But the stream doesn't end. A rogue phone feed catches the aftermath, John motionless, staring at the puddle. Crew frozen. The Jumbotron loops Keanu's last smile on endless repeat. By morning, the clip is everywhere. No context. Just 10 seconds, I'm tired. Headlines write themselves. TikTok stitches it with sad violins. X calls it performance art. A senator tweets, finally, a celebrity with a soul. A studio exec leaks, he's breaching contract. We own the likeness. The girl from the front row posts a blurry photo, Keanu's hand on her shoulder, his whisper captioned, "You're enough." The water on the desk dries into a perfect circle. A stain no one wipes away. The studio lights dim to stand by. The chair stays empty. Somewhere, a motorcycle engine roars to life. No cameras follow. The silence isn't empty anymore. It's full of everything unsaid. And for the first time in 30 years, the myth blinks.